Hello all, I welcome once again all of you, the TET aspirants for TSAT coaching classes. In the earlier sessions, we have discussed briefly about the parts of speech. In that, we have discussed about nouns. In this session, possibly we will try to discuss about the remaining parts of speech. Here comes the second parts of speech, pronouns, right? Pronouns refer to and replace nouns, and simply you can say substitute to nouns. In a paragraph, when you are referring to a person, many a times the paragraph looks awkward and it is not possible for us to read several times the name or the name of a place or a thing or substance. So instead of in order to avoid this kind of repetition, we are going to make use of these parts of speech called pronouns. Substitute to noun. The meaning doesn't change, right? Meaning remains the same. So in nutshell, pronouns refer to and replace nouns. For example, you see in the sentence, I want you to read this again, right? So in this sentence, the words I, you and this are pronouns, right? I refers to the speaker, the first person, you refers to the second person, and this refers to the something else, third person, right? So we can use these kind of pronouns to simplify the sentence and conveying the meaning without changing it in a very brief way, right? Now you see in the example sentences here, these each pronouns printed in bold type, right? See, she saw it when they bought it. The sentence is Sue saw the dog when the boys bought the dog. Somebody bought the dog, right? And Sue saw it. See here, she is a substitute to the noun called Sue, and it, the dog, they, the boys. So likewise, we can simplify the sentence by using these pronouns. Everybody was glad when it was over. The candy that we gave them was made last year. What did you buy from them? It barked loudly and then wagged its tail. It barked loudly and then wagged its tail. Some of this is important to me. When she heard herself on tapes, she was embarrassed. We were surprised when they did the laundry themselves. Who bought those from you? Fill it up, please. Many signed up, but few were chosen. We planted them, but the birds ate everything. Right? See, these are some of the example sentences. You can easily identify the nouns which are replaced with pronouns. Now, we are going to identify the different types of pronouns, right? And these pronouns is also very important because these pronouns are divided into 8 groups depending upon their meaning and how they are used in a sentence. Now let us see these different types. Let us begin with personal pronouns. These personal pronouns are used very frequently in English to make writing and speaking more interesting, right? See, you can see the table here. Some of the instances, examples which are being given here, these personal pronouns, they can be used in the place of I, me, my, mine, in place of your name, we, us, our, us, your name and the names of other people, you, your, yours, the names of someone else you're addressing, he, him, his, boy, man, male, masculine. When you come across masculine gender, you can make use of these personal pronouns. feminine gender, girl, woman, female. They can be replaced with these personal pronouns called she, her, hers. Next one, third person, when we refer to generally objects, things, plants, objects, actions, substances, and other things we would not refer to as he or she. It, its, they, them, they, theirs, etc., etc. These personal pronouns are used instead of these nouns. People, they, them, theirs, their. So these are some of the personal pronouns you can list out. Personal pronouns differ in terms of number, singular number and plural number with reference to the person. Who is the first person? The speaker is the first person. Always remember, the first person always going to be the speaker who initiates, who starts the discussion or the talk. He is called as speaker. So singular, I, me, my, mine. Here, plural, we, us, our, ours. Second person, you, your, yours, singular person, singular number, and plural, you, your, yours, same, you remains the same. Third person singular, he, him, his, she, her, hers, it, its. Plural, they, them, their, and theirs. The second category of pronouns, indefinite pronouns. You can see one sentence here. Everybody should sit in his or her seat until the plane has stopped. Everybody is a pronoun because it does not refer to any particular person or any particular thing. So, if a pronoun is not referring to a person particularly or a thing in particular, such pronouns are called as indefinite pronouns. You can see the table here, some of the examples which are being given here, right? Singular, any, anybody, anything, anyone, everyone, everything, everybody, either, neither, another. Some other indefinite pronouns, everything, everyone, each, nobody, no one, none, nothing, somebody, someone, and something, right? And a few indefinite pronouns are plural. You can see them in this table. Several, all, both, few, some, and many. So these are some of the examples for indefinite pronouns. Now we'll move on to the third category of pronouns, that is demonstrative pronouns, right? This very small group of pronoun is extremely useful in making clear sentences, right? We often make use of them, right? These demonstrative pronouns also have singular and plural number. Singular this, plural these, singular that, plural those, singular such, plural also remains such, right? Use this and these to point out something close to you. Use that and those to refer to things that are farther away. This is the thing that you have to remember. Use this and these to point out something very near to you or very close to you. Use that and those to refer to the things which are not very near to you, little far from you, farther away from you. The word such can be used both either singular or plural. Example here you can see, such a horse is hard to find, singular. Such a horse is hard to find. Such horses are hard to find. This is plural. So here such pronoun is used in the singular sense and plural sense, right? Demonstrative pronouns are always used to replace a noun or nouns. The next category which comes under this pronouns category is a reflexive pronouns. These pronouns are used when the receiver of the action is the same, right? Receiver of the action, you can see the person as the doer. In other words, if someone does something to himself or herself, the action is expressed using a reflexive pronoun. Tummy cut herself on the broken glass. The children frightened themselves with ghost stories. So herself refers to Tummy and the children is exemplified with the help of this pronoun, reflexive pronoun called themselves. Here we have singular reflexive pronouns, we have singular reflexive pronouns. Examples: myself, yourself, himself, herself, and itself. We also have got plural reflexive pronouns: ourselves, yourselves, themselves. The next category is emphatic pronouns. They always look like the reflexive pronouns, but they are used to emphasize a noun or another pronoun. You see, for example, when you want to point out that you did something all by yourself, you might say, I fixed the car myself. I fixed the car myself. Here myself is a emphatic pronoun. You are going to emphasize yourself. I fixed the car myself. Or I myself wouldn't pass judgment on him. Likewise, we have singular and plural also in this pronouns. Singular emphatic pronouns: myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. Plural emphatic pronouns: ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Examples you can say in this sentence: you yourself are better able to answer that question. They arranged their trip to Canada themselves. I inspected the tree itself before deciding it was dead. Something like this. The next comes reciprocal pronouns. There are only two reciprocal pronouns: each other, one another. Each other, one another. Now we can see them in the examples, the given below. Example: the friends started listening to each other and their relationship improved. The friends started listening to each other and their relationship improved. Right? Listening to each other. Second example: she taught her children to help one another. She taught her children to help one another. So here one another, each other, these two are considered to be as reciprocal pronouns. The next category is an interrogative pronouns. When you ask a question about someone or something, you often start with an interrogative pronoun. No? There are certain examples which are given here: who, whom, whose, which, what. These are considered to be as interrogative pronouns. Examples being given here: who is going to dance next week? Whom will you ask about the schedule? Which do you like best, CD or tapes? What are you going to wear tomorrow? See here, who is going to, whom will you, which do you, what are you? All these sentences are going to begin with WH sentences, which refer, you are going to ask for something, some information. So such pronouns are considered to be as interrogative pronouns. Right? You will see these words who, whom, which, that in many sentences, if they are not used to ask a question, they are not interrogative pronouns. If they are not meant for asking for some information, be careful, they are not considered to be as interrogative pronouns. One example is being given here: the man who lives there recently walked to Delhi. Here, the man who lives, here who is not used in the sense of asking for some information. So it is not an interrogative pronoun here. The man who lives there recently walked to Delhi. We saw the boat which was damaged by the whale. Here, which is also not used in the sense of asking for some information. So these two, in these two contexts, are not from the interrogative pronouns perspective. Relative pronouns, the next category is: relative pronouns are used to insert special grammar structures called clauses into a basic sentence. Right? This is something, little deeper, but we'll try to have a little glance over it. The term clause really means extra bits of information in a sentence expressed in a special way. Some of the examples which are being given here for relative pronouns, you can see relative pronouns: who, whoever, whom, whomever, to refer to people; which, to refer to things; that, to refer to people and things. Example sentence is given here: the man who is wearing the red shirt just robbed the bank. The man who is wearing the red shirt just robbed the bank. The teacher whom you met trained in France. The teacher whom you met trained in France. I saw the television program which was banned in the States. I almost forgot that it was your birthday. The driver that stopped didn't get a ticket. The driver who didn't stop got a ticket. So this is all about pronouns, right? So 8 different types of pronouns that you are supposed to remember with the given instances. The next parts of speech which comes to our mind, and the very important parts of speech is verbs, right? Because in a sentence, verb plays a very important role. What action is being carried out in the sentence is told by the verb itself. You can write sentence without a noun, without a subject, without an object, but you cannot write a sentence without verb. Verb is considered to be as a nucleus part of the sentence, right? If you study very carefully verbs, you will be able to learn English. You will be able to learn English grammar pretty easily, right? So we'll get into this verbs discussion. The third parts of speech is verb, one of the main parts of every sentence, as I told you already, right? And sentence is not a sentence without at least one verb, whether it is a simple sentence or a complex sentence or a compound sentence. Without verb, we cannot make sentence, right? And what is the duty of the verb? What is the function of the verb? Verb usually tells us about the action which is carried out in a sentence. These verbs are found in the middle of the sentence. How you will be able to identify them? Generally, usually, these verbs are identified in the middle of the sentences, right? Verbs may consist of one word. Verb or verbs can change their form to tell about actions taking place in different times. That's what we call as tense. Verb with reference to the time of action took place, this is called as tense. In the coming session, we are going to do this tense in detail. See here some of the examples, right? The pitcher threw the ball to the catcher. The runner flew down the racetrack. The farmer used all the water in his pond. The dog was chasing its tail. See here, threw, flew, used, was chasing. These are the verbs. Now, like we have discussed different types of nouns, different types of pronouns. Now we are going to discuss something about different types of verbs, right? As I told you the definition, a verb is a word that expresses action or state of being also. So in that category, the first verb category that comes is a action verbs, right? Most verbs which we use in our oral discourses and written discourses are considered to be as action verbs. They show that something is being done, something is being carried out, or that something is happened, or something has happened. Happening or happened or will happen. Okay. So these action verbs refer to actions that can be observed with the 5 senses, such as the children run after the dog, the horse jumped the fence, the rose grew very quickly, he caught the ball easily, she drives very carefully when it's snowing, something like this. We can observe with all of 5 senses the actions which are being carried out in these sentences. Ran, we can see, jumped, we can see, grew, we can see, caught, drives, all these things, right? The important points which we can discuss about the action verbs. Action verbs may also show mental action that cannot be seen or observed. Both the things. We can see them with 5 sensory organs, that's what we, 5 senses, may not be also. She thought about what she had done. She thought, only it is related to brain. They realized their mistake. Realized, we cannot see, we cannot observe. That accounted for his absence. Accounted, we cannot see or observe. David decided, we don't know, we cannot see or observe it, decided to move to Woodstock. You can guess the answer. Trish really loves her husband, something like this. Okay, state of being verbs. A small number of verbs express a state of being. This is called non-action verbs. These verbs are called as non-action verbs, sometimes called linking verbs or copula verbs. They show that something or somebody exists. Now you see, I am here. We were scared. You are hungry. You will be successful. John is tired. They were unhappy. Sherry is an accountant. He was a good friend. The dog was friendly. So these types of verbs are called as linking verbs or copula verbs. These show that something or somebody existing. The list you can see in the table, a list of non-action or linking verbs which include am, is, are, was, were, be, been, being, right? Have been, has been, had been, will be, become in all forms, will have been, seen. So these are the some of the linking verbs, right? Am, is, are. These are also called as be forms. Am, is, are, was, were. Be, been, being, have been, has been, had been, something like that. Apart from this, you also have will be, right? Become, seen. These are all considered to be as linking verbs. These are also called as non-action verbs. Words that can be used as helping or auxiliary verbs: has, have, had, would, could, should, may, might, must. This is another category of the verbs considered to be as auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Has, have, had, would, could, should, may, might, must, can, am, is, are, was, were. Never say was, that is V-A-S-E. No, this is was, were, has, have, had, shall, will, do, does, did, done is also there. Have been, has been, had been, am being, or being, is being, was being, and were being. The other category of the verbs which we come across is irregular verbs. As you may have noticed, some verbs form their principal parts changing their spelling, right? If you come across the verbs such as, they are called as irregular verbs. There will be slight spelling change in it. Not only spelling, the pronunciation also gets changed. See here, throw present tense, threw past tense, past participle is thrown, throwing is present participle. So there is a spelling difference in these 3 words. So such type of spelling differed verbs are called as irregular verbs. Some of the examples are being given here. There are many, but I have given you a few of the examples here. Feel, felt, felt. Spring, sprang, sprung, springing. Feel, felt, felt, feeling. Present participle is not being given here. If you wish to learn them, you learn them. Ring, rang, rung, ringing. Drink, drank, drunk, drinking. Bring, brought, brought, bringing. Burst, 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 eat, ate, eaten. Rise, rose, risen, rising. Raised, 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 raising, swim, swam, swam, swimming, cut, 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 cutting, right? Lie, lay, laid, lay, laid, laid, laying, something like this. So this is some of the verb categories. We also have transitive verbs, intransitive verbs. If the action is not passing on to the object, such verbs are called as intransitive verbs. If the action is passing on to the object, such verbs are called as transitive verb, something like this. Dogs bark, it is called as an intransitive verb. Raju kicked the ball, it is a transitive verb. So this is also one of the categories which you can study for your examination. So in nutshell, we have tried to discuss something about the verb in detail from the examination perspective. Let us sum up these verbs. You have to remember, verb plays a very important role in constructing a sentence. Verb is considered to be as a nucleus part of the sentence. Without verb, we cannot frame, cook, write a sentence, either in oral discourse or in written discourse. If you wish to speak English, reasonably good, if you wish to write reasonable good English, it is must for you to know the entire iota of the verbs. So verb is an action word, which we have already discussed about it, right? We have action verbs, and we have state of being verbs, we have linking verbs, we have helping verbs, auxiliary verbs, we also have irregular verbs, and we have transitive and intransitive verbs, right? Study them well, and try to learn these verbs with the help of the several exercises through the various grammar books which you refer to, and so that it will be easy for you to crack the examination in the TET. Mostly in the examination, you will be asked the questions related to which tense it belongs to. So if you learn verbs, it is possible for you to learn tenses. Having no idea of the verbs V1, V2, V3, V4 forms, V1 is a main form or a root form or a simple present tense form, V2 is a past tense form, V3 is a past participle form, V4 is a present participle form. So these are the things which you must focus on. So when you have basic idea about this V1, V2, V3 and V4, right, then it would be easy for you to identify the sentence and its tense, right? In the examination, mostly you will be asked to change the sentence from active voice to passive voice, reported speech from direct speech to indirect speech, as such. So you must have what kind of verbs which are being used in active voice, what kind of verbs which are being used in passive voice, similar to the reported speech, direct and indirect speech also. So you should learn V1, V2, V3, V4, as many verbs as possible, so that it will be easy for you to crack the competitive exam. I wish you all the best. Thank you. And in the coming session, we are going to do the remaining parts of speech. Thank you.